D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? And welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, down below, also, you can find the articles that I read to bring you this video. And you can read them, and come up with your own opinion or whatnot, or you can just listen to me because I'm just going to break them down for you and just explain the story and everything and just what's going on. Before I get started, though, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is going to do an old bot, a bot purge or an old account cleanse, and there usually is a tiny bit of little collateral damage and everything. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. I also ask that you like, share, and subscribe to any other small YouTubers out there, because our channels usually get pushed to the back of the line with the algorithm and everything, and I really think they would appreciate that and everything. So let's get started on these 3 stories. Okay, so for my first story of this week, so Warner Brothers is going ahead with this Superman movie, but they've announced that it is going to be a black Superman. Now, it's not going to be Val Zod or Calvin Ellis. Now, these are 2 Supermen from different Earths. Calvin Ellis is from Earth 2. And he is also the president of America in that one. But they're both failed comics. They're not very good, but it's like whatever. But no, this will be straight up Clark Kent. Now, I have to be honest with you. I this is a bad idea. It's not that I don't think a black Superman would be a good movie. Well, this won't be a good movie, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But I think that an Elseworld story would be the best way to go. I think doing Val Zod or Calvin Ellis would be the best way to go. And I just think that because I think now doing that in the Earth Prime, Earth 1, is just going to be awkward and weird, because you have Henry Cavill and he's no longer going to be Superman. Like, what? It's so weird. It's so weird. So like I said, he will be Clark Kent, and he will just magically become black. I don't know how they're going to work this out. Whatever. So this is clearly they're pandering to the black community. It's ridiculous. I mean, like, they're all like, hey, sorry. Hamada is just trying to make up for what he did to Ray Fisher. They were clearly jerks to Ray Fisher, and they just kind of swept it under the rug, and now they're trying to make up for it and pander to the black community. Like black people are stupid. They're not stupid. They get what you're doing. They know what you're trying to do. You're just trying to pander them and be all like, okay, we're going to give you your black Superman. Look how great we are. And it's like, what? Get out of here. Get out of here. There are so many black characters in comic books that are crazy great, and you guys could bring them to the screen. Wonder Woman. Do Nubia. Nubia is a great, and there's also Phileas, I think that's her name. Don't quote me on that one because I can't remember it. But bring those characters into Wonder Woman. Have them work alongside her. That'd be great. I'd love to see that. Do Vixen. She can't have her own movie. She's not a big enough character. Sorry, that's just the way it is. But do have Vixen be in the next collaboration movie with all the other Justice Leaguers in there. Or John Stewart. John Stewart was going to be in the Snyder Cut, and they made Zack Snyder take him out. It's going to be played by a guy named John Carr, I believe. Don't quote me on his first name. His last name is Carr with 2 R's. But just do one of those characters. I would love to see any one of those characters I just named, even a Val Zod or a Calvin Ellis. The Calvin Ellis one, though, him being the president, it's like really weird, because then he goes out and he like saves the day, and I'm all like, you're gonna go and save the earth as a superhero, and then you're gonna come back and be the president? What? Why would you do that? You're a superhero. Anyways, so do one of those characters. Everybody would love to see those characters. I would love to see those characters. Those are great characters. And you guys are they're so stupid. They're so stupid over at Warner Brothers. They are so behind everything, and they don't listen to their audience at all. They don't listen to what people want. And that's why they're failing. So this is also, okay. So this is why this movie is going to be a complete failure, utter failure. Number one, Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing this movie. I don't know if you know, now he was a journalist. I don't know if he still is journalisming and everything, but he wrote Black Panther. His Black Panther is horrible. It's terrible. It's unreadable. Don't read. You can't read it. It's unreadable. Talk about a comic book with so much talky and no action. They gave him some kind of credit in that Black Panther movie, and I don't know why, because I read those comic books. They're so awful, and that movie is a million times better than what Ta-Nehisi Coates wrote. He sucks as a writer. I never read his Captain America, so I don't know what that's about. I think he wrote something else for Marvel. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember, but I never read his Captain America. His Black Panther turned me off so hardcore to Black Panther comic books and anything Ta-Nehisi Coates writes. It's terrible. It sucks. The second thing of why this is gonna fail is J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams. Now he's only producing, and it's because they can't have a white man direct a black Superman movie and everything. But J.J. Abrams is the worst science fiction writer of anybody's lifetime. He sucks. Everything he's written is a copy of something. He's hacked stuff. He steals from other people. He takes everything that they do. Nothing he does is original. I mean, maybe the idea is original, but then he just takes everything else from everybody else. Bad Robot is just the worst, and J.J. Abrams is the number one worst one out of all of them. He is awful. So bad. So bad. I can't tell you how much this movie is already going to fail, and I already don't like everybody involved. But this article was saying that they are going to pick a director. Sorry, I'm getting to the main point of this, but they are going to pick a director, and it is going to be a black director. Like I said before, they can't have J.J. Abrams direct because he's a white man. You can't have a white man direct a black Superman movie. I don't know why, but you gotta please the masses. And so they said it's going to be a black director, and they're looking for him. Or her. But I'll tell you right now, they're going to have to compete with Marvel because Marvel's doing the same thing. I mean, they have, Nina DaCosta. I think that's her name. She directed Candyman, and she's now doing the Marvels or Captain Marvel 2. It's called the Marvels, but it's Captain Marvel 2. And then I'm trying to remember who else they've got. Anyways, they are Marvel and them are going to try to pick the same black directors from the same pool of directors because they don't want to give anybody else a shot. And I'll tell you right now, this movie's done for. I'm telling you right now, I have no interest in this. I've seen nothing but disinterest in this, and I think that it's just a bad move. Everybody wants Henry Cavill as Superman. Make him Superman. That's what everybody wants. I want it. You want it. So just do it. Just do it. Stop playing games and give us what we want. And it's not that big a deal. Like, you act like it's a big deal. Just stop it. And do those other and make those black superheroes that I just mentioned. Give them movies or TV shows. A Vixen show, I'd watch a Vixen show. I'd watch a Nubia show. Jon Stewart, though, we need him on the big screen. He's definitely a big screen kind of guy. We definitely need that character. And give Black Canary her own show on HBO Max. 8 episodes. Journey Smollett will totally do it because she's been on TV before and she's amazing. Loved her as Black Canary. So that's my first story. Sorry, I kind of went on a tiny bit of a tangent in the middle of there and at the end there, but yeah, that movie. Gosh. Anyways, so my second story of this week is. So in 18 months, Toby Emrick's contract will be up at Warner Brothers. And it looks like the chairman is exploring his options to move away from Warner Brothers. I wonder why. So what happened in this article from The Hollywood Reporter earlier this week, David Geffen placed a call to Netflix on Toby Emrick's behalf, kind of like feeling what's going on after his contract is up. Where does he want to go and where does he want to move to? Now, he's been the president since 2018 when he was hired over at Warner Brothers. And Ann Sarnoff, who runs the things over Warner, she runs the whole thing or whatever. He has he apparently has a pleasant relationship with her, and they're on good terms and everything. But that apparently that call placed. It turns out so that call that was placed to Netflix, on his behalf, apparently they're trying to say that this might be a negotiating tactics, but apparently there is no place for him over at Netflix. So, there's no place for him, but he's trying to use that as, because what happens is what they do in negotiations like this is once his contract is up, he says, listen, you guys pay me more. Because if you don't, look, Netflix, they want me. They want me over there. They're willing to pay me more. How much more are you guys willing to pay me more than Netflix? And they just kind of do it back and forth, or he just looks for a number that he's looking for. Like if he wants an extra, let's say 50 grand, I'm just using that out there. And they're like, but he's like, they're going to give me an extra 100 grand. And they're like, fine, we'll give you 50 grand. And that's really the number that he wanted. So he's all like, all right, I'll take it. So that's some saying. So they're saying that might be a negotiation tactic, but if there's no place for him over at Netflix, it won't be a negotiating tactic because it won't work. So I think a small portion of this might be the fact that he might have botched the direct to streaming or the day of the films for 2021. With like Wonder Woman and Mortal Kombat and Tom and Jerry and all those other ones, and soon to come up Suicide Squad. And I can't remember the Angelina Jolie movie that's coming out very soon. But one thing that they had to do in there was pay some of these people off. And they had to pay them a lot of money, because what happens when a movie does, they tell the actors and the directors and everything, they're like, hey, if this movie makes so much money at the box office, you get a bonus. So what happened was they went to these directors and actors, they got mad because their movies got pushed to streaming, and they're like, hey, we didn't sign up for that. We signed up for our movie to be in the movie theaters. And the studio's like, hey, we got to pay the bills, son. So they're like, fine, we'll pay you your bonus if it got to 100,000 or $100 million, okay, or whatever it is. I don't know what the numbers they get to. So they paid off a lot of people. Like they paid off Patty Jenkins, they paid off Gal Gadot, they paid the bonus of what's his name? Denzel Washington. From what I understand, Denzel Washington made the most money out of everybody with his bonus, and deservedly so. David Washington, that man is a treasure. I love that man. So a lot of people got a lot of money for something that might not happen. And I think that they're just kind of annoyed with him about that. I would be too. It'd be like, yo, you paid Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot for their crappy movie that wouldn't have made that much money at the box office. You paid them their bonus. You bonehead. That's what you are. So that might play a part in it, but I don't. If he's got, I mean, I'm pretty sure his role in the Ray Fisher story may have something to do with it also, and good. Because you can't treat people like crap and then expect there not to be any kind of consequence. I'm sorry, but Ray Fisher, if I believe him, so if his story is correct, which I believe it is, then good, because you should have stuck up for Ray Fisher. He didn't deserve to come to work and be treated like crap like that. Neither did Gal Gadot or any of the other people that were on that movie. So that is my second story of the day. Gosh, I'm going on long tangents on these ones. So for my third and final story of the day, this one will be a short one. So Blake Lively and Diablo Cody are teaming up for an adaptation of the comic book Lady Killer. Now, this was written by Joelle Jones for Dark Horse. And now I've never read this comic book, but I mean, just from the visuals that I've seen, it looks very interesting. Now, Blake Lively will be starring in this, and she's also producing it. Of course she is. And then Diablo Cody will, of course, be writing it, because Diablo Cody is a writer. I have to say, Blake Lively, I like Blake Lively. Not only do I think she's super hot, I think she's talented. I know there was that Adeline movie, or the story of Adeline, or the life of Adeline. I can't remember. I actually liked her in the movie. I thought she was very charming. And then she was in that Shallows movie with the shark. I love that movie. I'm telling you, and Blake Lively did such a good job. I've always had this problem with movies where it's like one actor in one space, like that movie Phone Booth with Colin Farrell. I was all like, I sat here for an hour longer than I should have for that movie, but not The Shallows. I was like, oh, no, 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 no. Her on that rock trying to get away from a shark. This is entertaining. All get out. I could sit and watch another 20 minutes of this. It was good. I like that movie. So I think that I do like Blake Lively. Diablo Cody, she's kind of hit or miss for me. I mean, I do like some of her work, and then some of her work, I'm like, it's all right, but it's not that great. But I am interested in seeing this. I do think that it looks very interesting and sounds interesting. So what is Lady Killer about? Well, like I said before, it is a comic book from Dark Horse, and I also, again, I've never read this comic book, but the story takes place in the atmosphere of the 1950s, and Josie Schuler, who has all the attributes of the perfect housewife and mother of her time, secretly works as a hired killer for the mafia. But her double life doesn't please her employer, who doubts her liability and soon decides to have her eliminated. Ooh, bum, bum, bum. So I think that I think that sounds fantastic. Blake Lively was in that oh gosh, not Drumline. I keep wanting to think of like Notes of a Scandal and Drumline, but it's something, Notes of a Music or something like it's some stupid title like that, where she played that woman that wanted revenge on the people that killed her family or whatnot. I personally didn't like that movie, but I thought Blake Lively did an all right job. So I think that she could pull this off. And I would love to see her in a WandaVision style setting where she's got the apron and like the dress, and she's all like, oh, hey, darling, how was your day? And everything. So I think this sounds interesting, and it will be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see. I'll watch it because it's a comic book adaptation. I love comic books. I've never read this one, but if it's good, I might pick it up. You never know. You never know. So, with all that being said, tell me, what do you guys think about this? How do you feel about, them hiring a black director for the Black Superman movie? Are you looking for this Black Superman movie? Do you like this idea of making him Clark Kent? What do you think they're going to do about Henry Cavill's Superman? How do you feel about Ta-Nehisi Coates and his horrible writing? He's such a crappy writer. How do you feel about J.J. Abrams and the fact that he's just the worst sci-fi writer of forever? Anyways, how do you feel about Toby Emrick possibly leaving Warner Brothers after 18 months in 2022? Do you feel it's well deserved? Do you think he's getting fired? Like they're like, hey, you're out, buddy, get ready? Or do you think this is just him doing a negotiation tactic? Yeah. And then how do you feel about Blake Lively and Diablo Cody teaming up for this Lady Killer adaptation? I mean, did you read that comic book? Did you like that comic book? How do you feel about Blake Lively? How do you feel about Diablo Cody? Do you like either one of them, both of them, neither one of them? Yeah. So tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my week in review. You guys have a good week. Bye.
Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my week in review.